All right, so I was listening to this program last night, and they were pretty bummed out on what's been happening around the planet. The flooding, the firestorms, the hurricanes. It's all there, it's all happening, and it will. It'll continue to happen from here on out, worse and worse as the years go by. But with that, I still believe that humans will get through this. And here's one of the ways that humans are going to get around energy, and that's electric energy, and storing it, putting it somewhere. How do you store electricity? Well, you do that in batteries. The Moss Landing Energy Storage Facility, this is a storage facility that's powered by solar panels and wind farms. So the ideal circumstance for such, well, there's already a plant going, and we're going to get into that later. But if you store all that wind and electricity when the demand is down. So during the night, if you have a big windstorm, you could store all that wind energy into the battery system. And same with solar. If you have a cool, sunny day, there's not going to be much power being used, or maybe a moderate day, and you can use the solar and store that in the batteries as well. So what do you do next? Well, phase one of the Moss Landing Energy Storage Project was 300 megawatts to the grid as soon as they started and charged up the batteries. Phase 2 was 400 megawatts, equals 300,000 homes on the low emissions grid. Now, unfortunately, because of the grid, the way that this facility works, it needs a lot of fans. So part of the energy that's made has to go back in to run all the fans to keep itself cool. But it's a gigantic grid of batteries, and it's actually located on the facility that that housed coal and oil-fueled generation. So they didn't take anything out to put this in. It was put on existing properties that have already been developed. And what they found is that California really leads the way on this technology. California, 1,438 megawatts. Texas, 343 megawatts. Illinois, 133 megawatts. Massachusetts, it's a hard one, 103 megawatts. Arizona, 97 megawatts. Hawaii, 77 megawatts. No, New York, 52 megawatts. Now, every environmental shortcut has its problems, and this one's no different. And the problem is lithium. They're using lithium in lithium batteries to use for the battery storage is lithium. And unfortunately, lithium can only be used one time. It can't be recycled. So that's why you throw old lithium batteries and lithium anything away, because it corrodes very quickly with the air and oxygen and is made useless. So lithium is a one-time use finite product, and we're quickly going to that type of system now. The question is, they've got to get something made of silicone that does the same thing as lithium some way, because there's plenty of silicone. We just don't have plenty of lithium. It's very small amounts, and we're using it up very quickly on garbage that gets thrown away, like throwaway LED lighting that you just use for a little one season or something, and you throw it away, and you throw away all that lithium. But so right now there's this Moss Landing facility, and right now it's looking very good. It's working just as they thought it would. It stores the energy during the off-peak hours, and during the peak hours it drains it back into the grid, giving them an added bonus of electricity. Now, if we did battery collections all over where the coal and oil-fired plants are now, all you do is clear off a parking lot and build away. It's very energy efficient. It's a very good quality green energy. But if it doesn't work, you can always switch on the regular current to charge up the batteries, which then can, of course, later on when it's needed, use it instead of dumping electricity down into the ground, which is what they do now. They just dump it into batteries. That makes a lot more sense. But that's why I feel like it's too soon to say gloom and doom is here. Gloom and doom is here because we're never going to have a planet like we had when we were kids or growing up. And we're going to see more and more floods, fires, huge, much bigger tornadoes, huge hurricanes, Tons of mosquitoes. Oh, where'd that come from? There's always mosquitoes around here. And there's absolutely not a drop of water anywhere. Don't know where they're coming from, unless they're gnats. Maybe they're gnats. So, I understand where Gloom and Doom come from. It's just easier that way. But we need to get out and invent. There's no reason there's anybody being stopped from inventing something, that will help move us to a electric grid and get off of fossil fuel altogether. It's coming. It's just coming kind of slowly, but it is coming. And it's coming in all sorts of ways, and we're going to have to take whatever comes for a while until we can undo the fossil fuel nightmare that we're in right now. The biggest problem with fossil fuel de-development, getting rid of the development of fossil fuel, is this is so easy right now. We're so built up with it. We have brand new cars and trucks and buses and locomotives on trains that use diesel. And we have airplanes that use jet fuel, which is a type of kerosene, I guess, from what I've heard. It all has to be switched over to electric somehow, some way, and very, very soon. Or you'll find me on the doomosphere as well. But right now, you don't find me there because I don't believe in it just yet, not yet. I still think that we have some time and that there's enough brain activity in this planet to build ourselves out of this nightmare. I hope. I really do. It's not so much for me. It's not so much for me of the hope. It's for the animals and all the living things on the planet that will be lost if we don't win the battle. So, think positively. Forget about the doomosphere for now. We can always go to the doomosphere at any time, but right now, let's go to the fix-a-spheres. Fix-a-sphere. That's a good one. All right, I appreciate all your ups, your downs, the new subscribers, and until next time.